You wake up tired. You check your phone. You already have 12 things to do before noon. But the real answer to how humans were built to live is far stranger than that. For most of human history, a day looked nothing like yours. No alarm, no inbox, no rush, and yet your body still runs on the settings that day created. Your brain was not built for a calendar. It was built for a savanna. Anthropologist Richard Lee spent years studying the Ju-Huanzi, a hunter-gatherer people in the Kalahari Desert. What he found broke almost every assumption people had. They worked, on average, around 15 hours a week to meet their basic needs. 15, not 50. The rest of the time, rest, talk, storytelling, naps. Marshall Salins, another anthropologist, called societies like this the original affluent society. Not affluent because they had more. Affluent because they wanted less and had time to enjoy what they had. Mornings meant foraging, often in groups, filled with conversation. Women gathered most of the daily calories, roots, nuts, berries, steady food that didn't depend on luck. Men often hunted, but hunts failed far more than they succeeded, sometimes 8 or 9 times out of 10. Meat was a bonus. The real backbone was cooperation. Food was shared constantly. If one family had a bad week, another family's surplus covered it. Anthropologist Kim Hill documented this kind of sharing across hunter-gatherer societies as a survival mechanism as essential as any tool. You didn't survive because you were strong. You survived because you were connected. Afternoons slowed. Rest during peak heat wasn't laziness, it was strategy. And evenings were sacred in a specific way. As firelight replaced daylight, something happened that shaped the human mind. Storytelling. Anthropologist Polly Wessner found that daytime talk among the Yuhuanzi was practical, but nighttime talk shifted toward myths and shared stories, stories that built empathy and bonded the group. This is likely where early religion, myth, and shared meaning were born. Not in a library, around a flame, with people who trusted each other. Sleep researcher Jerome Siegel studied hunter-gatherer groups and found they slept around 6.5 to 7 hours a night, tightly synced to sunrise and sunset. They didn't need to catch up on rest. Their days weren't the problem. Their days were the medicine. Here's the twist. When agriculture arrived around 12,000 years ago, life didn't get easier. Skeletons from early farmers show a decline in height and health compared to hunter-gatherers before them. More food, yes, but longer hours, repetitive labor, and more disease. The 8-hour workday isn't ancient, it's recent. So why does modern life feel so heavy? Because you're running ancient hardware on a foreign operating system. Your body still expects sunlight to regulate sleep, not a screen at midnight. It still expects real rest after effort, not constant notifications. It still expects daily face-to-face connection, not scattered texts between meetings. Anthropologist Sarah Hurdy found that ancient children were raised cooperatively by mothers, grandmothers, aunts, and neighbors. No one carried that weight alone. You were not built to grind constantly. You were built for short bursts of effort, then real rest. You were not built to sleep by screen light. You were built to rise with the sun and wind down with the fire. You were not built to carry your burdens behind a closed door. You were built to share the weight of survival with people sitting right beside you. Tonight, when you're lying in bed scrolling a glowing screen, remember that for most of human history, that same quiet hour was spent around a fire, telling stories beside people who'd share their last meal with you. You weren't given a broken lifestyle by evolution. You just left the one it built for you.